Yo, what is up, you guys? Today I wanted to talk about friendship, and I know I'm jumping into this very quickly, but I'm just trying to get this out of my chest. And to be frank, I really just want to get a video going. But um, what I wanted to talk about with friendship is how fragile it is nowadays. And what I mean by that is, like, I was having a conversation with my friend recently. I think this was yesterday or today. I'm not sure, but it was yesterday, I think. And we're talking about how there's this invisible barrier in between friends nowadays. Like this by what I mean by this invisible barrier is it's like when you have a friend, do you know how you have that small talk with a stranger, or how you just have that like little chat with someone that you know, and you're not fully honest. You're never fully honest. The person's never fully honest. You can't really see through the person, and you don't have that like connection. And I think that's really what's lacking nowadays. A lot of friendships lack that connection that makes that true bond. That's how you see how there's gossip and there's people stabbing each other behind the back and just doing nasty things to each other, like without them knowing, or even if they do know, like they never say it in real life because they don't have the sort of connection that allows them to speak about things without it getting all awkward or getting all like strange. And I think a friend, if that's the sort of thing that happens between a friendship, I really fail to see how you can call it a friendship. Because a friendship is a special type of bond that you have with someone that could just be a stranger, but that one connection makes you friends. Because it's not like you're related by blood and you have to speak to them, or maybe um the family friend, and they've gone back generations. This It's not that. It's a connection with someone that you met from wherever, whenever you just met. So it's not like blood. Nothing is bonding you by force. About the interruption, but I don't know if I'll cut it out. But anyways, what I was talking about is it's a person that you've just met. That one thing that's holding you together is what makes you friends. And I feel how to see that one thing nowadays is really shaky. Like, because that's the only thing that holds you together as friends or as people that know each other really well and talk to each other. And I think that's what's missing nowadays. If that one rope, let's say, that's tying you guys together, giving you that bond, is shaky, is torn, then eventually just that one rope gives out and it's all gone. You're meant to make those connections that last. You make lots of connections, many ropes, and that's how you keep a friendship strong. If something goes badly in one area, the rest of it holds it all together, and you keep talking to fix that part. But nowadays, it's just that one part, and people they fail to keep making more bonds because it's just like how if you're talking to a girl or something, you're trying to talk to a girl maybe on Snapchat, Instagram, whatever you use. It's like every time you text, you wait a couple of hours. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. Like nowadays, you can't be honest with people, and I think you know that. It's like if you are honest, like you get made fun of, or you might be seen as different. And it's really true nowadays because a lot of people, if say you text too fast or this or that, they think you're unserious, or maybe they think you're a joke, or there's just so many things. It's like a guy nowadays, a shy type of person. I'm quite a shy type of guy. Like, is trying to talk to a girl or trying to talk to someone. There's so many different things you need to do. This, that, and yeah, there's confidence and all of this. But the fact that nowadays all of this has to be spoken out just for you to talk to someone is bizarre. Like, I think what is bizarre about it is the fact that before you could just speak to someone like a normal person. You can still do that nowadays. It's not like it's all about talking to girls, this and that. But I think in general, what I mean by that and the concept of that is how people have that invisible barrier. It's all about that invisible barrier. It's like obviously, like it feels so taboo to think of just being straight up honest with a stranger. It feels so taboo. But being honest doesn't mean giving someone your social security number or giving them your credit card pin. It can be as small as being honest with your actual emotions. Like when you have small talk, you talk about things that you might feel like are uh, obsolete, but you feel like that's what makes a conversation good. You have that little chit chat, and then you go on to deeper things. But it doesn't always have to be that way. You can always just speak. Well, in my ideal world, you can just speak to a person. You can be honest. You can ask them questions. They'll be honest. You don't have to spill everything out. There's a difference between being honest and just telling everyone everything. There's a difference. I'm not saying everything should be said, but I'm saying there should be some sort of like barrier where it's like you're keeping stuff that is personal to yourself within you, and things that are not so personal but feel like they're a bit taboo to speak about just off the get go. And it's only taboo nowadays because it's been built with social norms and just the way that society has been constructed. This is not law. This is all about that social structure and how it's been built over time, because this stuff is not law. Like you can act whatever way you want. It's just about that social structure, as I said before. And the social structure really is withering away nowadays with how people are trying to be nonchalant, people trying to come off as they've got everything together, where people are falling apart. And no one feels to see that. No one can see that. Everyone fails to see it. And I think that is because of that social structure that I was talking about. You see how people can be suicidal or something. Um, I hope this video doesn't get taken down for saying that, but you see how people can just be like very, very sad, very depressed, but people won't know. They will act normal, and that's because there's been this social barrier. If people speak what they actually feel, they'll be laughed at or they'll be looked at differently. That social structure again, that social structure has really become bad. It used to be something that could help people actually speak and connect with each other, but now it's become something that makes people scared to show their real emotions. I don't want to make this video all about showing your real emotion, but I also want to talk about how friendships have become obsolete. You could call this other person, oh, he's my friend. He's my friend, but really, he's just a person you talk to sometimes, a couple of times. And I know there's levels to friendship. You can be a friend with someone, that casual friend, this, that. But at the same time, I feel like a friend is reserved for a title with someone that you speak to and you actually like put out your honest thoughts and your honest feelings, not just talk to the person casually, have a couple casual conversations and call them a friend. I don't think that's really what a friend is. That's my personal opinion. You can have other personal opinions. That's the good thing about humans, subjectiveness. But in my opinion, I feel like people should be able to connect with each other without any shame and just be as deep as like possible. Like being, it doesn't mean having a deep conversation all of the time. That's not the purpose of what I'm trying to say, but it means just being upfront and honest. And this sounds really cliche, but a lot of people hear it, like they hear it, but they don't actually understand it. There's a difference, and that difference is really large. Like there is a big difference in between hearing it and understanding it, because a lot of people, they'll hear it and they'll be like, yeah, I get it, this and that. It sounds like normal cliche stuff, and then when you really think deeply about it, it's really true. And the fact that people think it's just cliche normal stuff, if everyone thinks that way, then no one cares. Because this is more of a whole network type of like thing. This is more of a net type of emotion. Like if everyone feels like they shouldn't do something, or one person feels like they shouldn't do something, the next person will say, okay, I mean, that person doesn't feel like doing something, so let's all not do it. And it becomes a thing where no one does it. And that's really true with the social structure, where no one cares about this, that. It's just how it's been built. There's no one standing against it, because it seems like such a, I don't know how to explain it, but volatile thing. I don't know if that's the right word, but it seems like such a thing where it's like, it's just like, it's just social structure, this and that, because you can't really see it like laws where they're just straight on paper. You can't see it. It's not something that's enforced. Everyone has the obligation to feel whatever way they want. And I also say that you should feel the whatever way you want, but I also think that people should try and be a bit more caring about how social structures have been built and try to support each other. over time, and that's really not true in friendships nowadays. As I've been speaking about, this is like the main topic of this video. And friendships, they're not really worth anything now, and that's because you can have a million friends and not even flipping a million of them care about you. It'd probably be five people that care about you, and that's not specific. I don't know the percentages, whatever, but like nowadays you can have loads of friends, but lots of them don't care about you. They don't think about you, this and that, and that's because it's more about supposed to be quality over quantity, but nowadays it's become quantity over quality. People want friend groups, people want this, people want that, but they forget those bonds that actually make a friend. They just think about having a buttload of friends to do this and that and this and that. But at the end of the day, as you get older, you start to realize how obsolete having that amount of friends is. And I've had that change. I'm not saying I'm really old and wise, but I think I'm quite mature for my age, and I've had that change over from high school to college. As you can see in my older video, like the video I made a couple days ago, I talked about the change between high school and college, and watch that video if you want to see the connection between that video and this video. But this friendship thing nowadays is obsolete, as I said. I used obsolete a lot, but it's all it's all just doesn't matter anymore. Wait, let me check if I'm still recording. Okay, I'm still recording. I'm safe. But um yeah, it's become a thing where it's like it's I could say I have a friend over in flipping, I don't know, Spain, because I played with him one time, or pause, but I played maybe flipping Fortnite or something with him one time or a couple times, but it's not really a friendship. I don't speak to him. I don't have any bonds. We don't talk about anything. And it's okay to have a friend over in another country that lives somewhere else. That's not the point of how far they live. But the point is those bonds that you've created. A lot of people miss that bond, as I said. And that's just the big topic of it all today. Like, it's those bonds that you create that make a friendship. Without that bond, it's not a friendship. It's just an acquaintance or someone you know. There's a big difference in between them, and I'm really happy to have made a friend that I can actually speak to and like say all I want to say without having to feel like, oh, I need to hold back on what I say or hold back on this. And I'm happy to be able to make other people feel this way where they can say whatever they want. And I feel like a lot of people need to have those redeeming qualities nowadays, because a lot of people would judge others for speaking their mind, and that's what makes friendship so obsolete, because now they can't speak about the stuff they want to speak about anymore. And I think that's a real big shame. Like, I feel like I'm a person where I've acknowledged this and I've thought about it, and not in a way where I force myself to think, oh, I need to be this way, I need to act this way so the person can feel comfortable with me. It's just the way I act. It's just the way I am nowadays. Like, this is just how I am. And I think I've been like that from like day one. But for someone that judges people, it's not because they want to judge people or they were born to judge people, but it's because they've learned it through social construct and the way other people make others feel and how they make them feel and how they treat others. That's that's what really makes someone that judges people judge people. And I think it is reversible. It's very reversible. You just need to acknowledge it and start to act in a different way. And when you're going to judge someone, you think about it, you look at it, why am I doing this? And then you take it back. You don't just keep judging someone. And I'm not trying to say this as cliche. Like, this video, I am starting to realize it sounds quite cliche, but I think this is the truth. Just speaking my mind. This is the truth. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video though. That's all I got to say. I think I repeated so much stuff in here, but it is what it is. See you a lot later.